Welcome to A Drink of Wisdom with Nathan Drinkard. I'm Jay Wise. Thanks for spending some of your time with us. As a reminder to our listeners, besides being on all your favorite podcast platforms, we're also up on YouTube. Each show segment available individually. Head on over. You like what you hear, give us a subscription. We greatly appreciate it. Quick programming note for you. Our great host, Cody Ward, stepping away from the show due to a hectic, and I do mean hectic work schedule, which has made it increasingly difficult for him to find the time to join us here on the program. We do thank him for all his hard work he's put in for us over the past year, and we hope to eventually get him back at some point. But in the meantime, the show goes on, and we return to our roots when it was just the two of us. What's up, Drink? What's going on?
Hey man, same old, same old. We out here hooking and jabbing, like I always say. Hey, we see what they don't and say what they won't. Shout out to Cody. He, hopefully everything slows down for him and he end up coming back. But like you said, we back to the roots, back to the original, just us two. So, shouts out to him, shouts out to everything that's going on, and you know what time it is. Let's talk some sports, baby. So let's roll, baby.
All right. In episode 32, we go back to Matthew Stafford and that trade that has him heading to LA. We break down the NFL, each NFL teams, and how confident we are in their quarterback situations, and what's up with all that NBA All-Star game hate. We'll tell you about it. But we begin, you know where we're starting. We're starting in the NFL. Super Bowl 55 is tomorrow evening, featuring the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We have the greatest of all time in Tom Brady with his 6 Super Bowl rings. He's looking for a 7th. Meanwhile, Patrick Mahomes looking for his 2nd straight Super Bowl ring. It's a star-studded event. Should be a fantastic matchup. And go ahead and give us what you think, Drink. How do you see this one playing out?
Well, I see this. We got the GOAT, Tom Brady. We got the baby GOAT, Patrick Mahomes. This will be, I think, the point of will the Chiefs be a dynasty? I think this is the point of contact. This is the point of friction. If they win this year, it's hard to believe they won't capitalize on it next year and, go 3 straight. If they lose this year, then I would have to think that some of the key players that they have on the team will probably not be on the team next year, as usually what happened. So, with all that said, you know how I get down. I'm taking the Chiefs. That's just first and foremost. I'm taking the Chiefs. I just feel like when the Chiefs have everything clicking, they can only beat themselves. Not saying the Bucs is not a good team. I'm not saying Tom Brady is not doing his thing. I'm not saying that Bucs defense led by Todd Bowles ain't doing their thing, because they are, But at the end of the day, if you give me a healthy, motivated Kansas City Chiefs team against anybody in the NFL, I'm going to take the Chiefs. It's just what it is. I cannot overlook what they got. They got it cooking now. They have it cooking. They're one of the few teams that could come in, have a bad night at the office, and still win the game. You can't say that by a lot of teams. We didn't see Tampa Bay get smoked on multiple occasions. It happens. Tampa don't get done like that. So with that said, I've said this multiple times. I look at this year's Super Bowl as a passing of the torch. Tom Brady gonna, go out here and do his thing. Kansas City win by a field goal, something like that. And, this is gonna be the moment we're gonna remember when, Tom Brady, even if he comes back to play next year, I think it still is a passing of the torch, because once we see Mahomes, if he's holding up that Lombardi trophy, and Tom Brady over there on the other sideline with the confetti coming down, he's not holding it up. How do you not look at that as some type of transfer of power in the NFL? You got to put some respect on his name. So that's kind of how I look at this. I think it'll be a very entertaining Super Bowl. Let's keep it real. I know a lot of people are not looking at this aspect like me and you would have, but the CBS has the broadcasting rights for this year's Super Bowl. So I'm excited about hearing Jim Nantz and Tony Romo do their thing. As much as I like Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, it's just something about that CBS team right there, that Tony Romo, Jim Nantz, that do it for me when I listen to those guys talk. So I'm excited about that. You made a fantastic point right before we got on this subject, so I'm gonna let you have that fantastic point of some of the CDC guidance that might be a little weird. Once they hear what you got to say about it. But at the end of the day, man, listen. Can Todd Bowles and crew slow down Patrick Mahomes? Let's say Eric B and crew. That's the game for me. That's the game. I'm be honest with you because I think I don't say I think I know the Bucs should be able to move the ball on Kansas City defense. Kansas City defense have improved dramatically. So I'm not trying to play them like they roadkill. But let's be real here. The Bucs got enough talent, led by the GOAT, offensive line playing great, running game that picked up their production with Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones. And then we know Mike Evans, we know Chris Godwin, probably no Antonio Brown in this game. That's cool. We still got Gronk. We still got Brake. We still got Scotty Miller, the guy that thinks he's faster than Tyreek Hill, so we get to see that. But was that?
He said he's faster than Kevin King, he says.
Hey, we see that on display. But Kevin, let's be real here. Kevin King, hey, rest in peace. Probably not his best game. One he'll remember probably for the rest of his life. But that ain't no Tyreek Hill. So you're gonna find out top end speed at your, right in your face. Scotty Miller. You're going to be right on the sideline when you see Tyreek Hill busting it open. And then we'll see how you feel about that. But, not to drag this out, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a more competitive game than people think. I got it 31-28, Kansas City. And like I said, I think this is a new story where we're going to start talking about the Chiefs, a dynasty, Patrick Mahomes being the GOAT. And also, listen, Patrick Mahomes being unappreciated. We done said it multiple times. He wins this Super Bowl, he might go the next 5 to 7 years being very, very unappreciated. Like, we're going to respect him for being a young GOAT, but it's going to be one of those things, he threw for 6,000 yards. Oh, that's cool. That's Patrick Mahomes. This other guy going to throw for 45. He's the best thing since sliced bread. It's the LeBron treatment. Yep. It's the Alabama fatigue. It's the Patriots fatigue for that fact of the matter. It's just one of those things. When you become great, we start to not appreciate your greatness, and I think that can come for Patrick Mahomes if his team go out here and win this game. So yeah, man, that's my score: 31-28. Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes, second straight Super Bowl MVP, second straight Super Bowl championship. Andy Reid, second straight Super Bowl championship. Eric B. And I think for me, I'm curious to see what Kansas City do this offseason if they win, to see if they keep the band together for one more. We know that's usually not what happened. But I'm taking the young GOAT. Holla at your boy. And if you are taking the Bucs and you want to place a bet, just let me know in your segment and we can make this happen.
No, I am taking the Kansas City Chiefs. No questions about it. I'm gonna up the ante just a little bit in the scoring. I think it will be a little bit more high scoring. I'll go 38-35. In regards to just quick up, I think from what I'm seeing, I think Antonio Brown is trending better than he was last week. I think last week he was listed as doubtful. I think he's questionable, and might be a game time call, but his status looks a lot better. I'm not sure how much that means. I don't think that'll have an incredible impact on the game based on what we're seeing. With Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Those are the guys that Tom Brady pretty much leans on more so than AD. But and by the way, just to get this out of the way, I didn't want to get into the whole Centers for Disease Control guidance on how the American public should conduct themselves, whether they in the stands or they at home. So we're gonna get way off track down a rabbit hole if I get in all that. But the just to if you're interested in knowing about, go to their website and see what they have to say. But they said, just as a little bit of a nugget, they said don't cheer. Do not cheer. That thing where like you see somebody like yes, who scored, all that. Don't do that because you're spreading the virus and you should be ashamed of yourself. Anyways, to the business at hand.
Wait. Is this for the people that's gonna be at the game, or is this for people that's, let's say, if I'm hosting a Super Bowl party in my home, that's
I'm
the
pretty sure
guys?
I'm pretty sure this is for everyone. If you whether you're at the game, whether you're at home, whether you're at a restaurant, if they're open, no matter where you are. If you're in a cabin in the woods somewhere, you probably shouldn't cheer. You may give it to a squirrel or something. And we can't have that. We just can't have that. But to the business at hand, I think this is in the big picture. As you start, I think you kind of start at 30,000 foot level, which I think that's not something we always can get in a game like this. For example, you look back at the past two Super Bowls, you had a Tom Brady, Jared Goff matchup. And then last year you had a Patrick Mahomes, Jimmy Garoppolo matchup. In the big picture and in the historical context of the NFL, no one's gonna look back at those matchups and say, man, that was what a profound matchup that we can look to historically and more, kind of really extract some NFL significance. This is one of those matchups that it is really in my mind. I think most people's minds, the GOAT, the most accomplished quarterback ever, however you want to define it. It's Tom Brady versus the guy who, is ascending like no other, and already in his third full season of playing, fourth season overall. Um, he's already, like you say, he's already underappreciated, and it's just he's got what you might say is that routine greatness. And like we were talking about the AFC Championship a couple weeks ago. Josh Allen seemingly, he was the next best young gun smoking, and then you walk in against Patrick Mahomes, it's like, oh, hold up, actually go back to Buffalo, keep working, but you're not ready. You're not ready for these bright lights, even though we agree Josh Allen's made tremendous progress from last season.
Right.
But that's kind of how I see it. And Patrick Mahomes, if he comes out here and gets this victory, and I know 6 Super Bowls, that's going to be incredibly tough to match in his career. But you win two in a row at this age, and you're off to a great start. And he's got the right organization, got organizational stability. They've locked. We talked about it. Some of the offseason things they did, locking up Chris Jones. Some of those type things. Kansas City Chiefs are invested long term, and they're looking to dominate this league as long as they can. I think they're better. I think they are vulnerable in this game. I think particularly because they've been playing without Mitchell Schwartz, their right tackle, for seems like months now, and they won't have their left tackle Eric Fisher in this game. So
Right.
Tampa Bay, to me, their best chance will be with Todd Bowles, and it will be the Bucks would probably prefer this to be a little bit more low scoring. They probably prefer not to be in a track meet. So if I would say if they want to win this game, they want to same old story that everyone has with whether it's Patrick Mahomes, whether it's a Peyton Manning, one of those type guys. You want to limit possessions. You want to control the pace of the game, control the clock, run the football, and that there is. I think that's a strategy they can implement with Leonard Fournette. We've seen Leonard Fournette; he's been more of a factor as the season has gone on. Ronald Jones has played well, so they have a good 1-2 punch. Their offensive line has performed admirably. That middle of the offensive line, I really like it. Tristan Wirfs, I think he's been really good on the right side for them. So if they can do that, limit possessions, somewhat keep Mahomes out of a rhythm, and also getting somewhat of a fast start would be something that I think would be in their best interest. But on the other side for the Chiefs, where they're vulnerable, their tackles. You think about the Tampa Bay Bucks. Their front seven has been ferocious all year. They don't let you run the football. They can blitz with those two middle linebackers and Levante David and Devin White. And Jason Pierre-Paul, Shaq Barrett, those guys are going to be coming for you. We saw what they did against Green Bay. They sacked Aaron Rodgers 5 times, and I think it will take another performance like that for them to have a chance. So Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Eric B, whoever you're pointing to about who's got the keys to that offense, we might see a little bit more quick passes in lieu of them perhaps having some difficulty running the ball. So maybe you see more of the quick game to Tyreek Hill on the outside, Demarcus Robinson, Sammy Watkins. If he plays, we don't know. Sammy Watkins, he's in that Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey mind frame. We don't know what he's going to do. But in the end, it seems really unlikely to me that Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs with how high powered they are. Don't forget, in late November, the Chiefs, beat the Bucks 27-24. It was 27-10 after 3 quarters. So they dominated the Bucks back end. They couldn't handle the overwhelming speed of Tyreek Hill. The 13 catches, 269 yards, 3 touchdowns. And Patrick Mahomes threw for 462, did not throw an interception. And really, it seemed like they dominate. That was an easy victory. They just kind of, let their foot off the gas in the fourth quarter, let the Bucks make it look respectable. And I can see that happening again. But I think the key to the game will be, can the Chiefs' offensive line, particularly those backup tackles, can they hold up against the pass rush? If they do, the Chiefs win this game easy. If they don't, it could be very interesting getting into the fourth quarter. But I do think the Chiefs. I do think the Chiefs win this one, and it could be the start, or the continuation based off of last season of something really, really special. And I think you can start talking about the word dynasty.